In this video, we're going to talk about storage autoscaling and how to visualize the behavior of the autoscale engine on Azure Files, as well as the costs and savings that the storage autoscale engine in the Nerdio Manager is driving in your deployment in Azure. So we'll navigate to Storage Azure Files tab, and we can see I have several Azure File shares in this demo environment. One in particular that has auto scaling enabled is called Premium FS Logics. And we can see that over the last month, we've saved $40, which is about 45%, 46% of our peak capacity. Now, if we wanted to really understand, well, what's going on with this particular file share? When is it scaling out? When is it scaling in? What type of savings are being realized, etc.? We can go to the dropdown, go to Autoscale, and click on the history page. And on the history page, we will see several graphs and several ways of looking at this data. So for example, if we wanted to look at it over the last week, and see what our latency has been, what our quota has been, how many transactions have we seen on this file share, as well as the amount of savings that we realized. Then we have this information listed right here. This is not a file share, unfortunately, that has much usage on it. Therefore, you can see there's very few transactions and sort of unpredictable latency as a result, because it's really not being used at the time. But if this was a heavily utilized environment, you would see the latency, how it changes relative to the number of IOPS, and then how the quota is automatically responding with scale out and scale in events. We can select a point on the graph and learn more about it by simply clicking on it or mouse over that point on the graph, and you can see the information. You can see how much actual quota, what the peak quota was, how much used capacity at the time, what the server latency average and the end-to-end latency, how many transactions, and what the cost savings were as it relates to the peak demand. So this is the autoscale history that really allows you to better understand the behavior of storage autoscaling and understand when is the quota being increased and why it's being increased and decreased in relation to the latency and the transactions that are being seen in that particular Azure file share. I hope you found this useful, and I look forward to seeing you in future videos.